As we talked to a lot of people about our kids during this series, as Chancellor of Higher Ed, Thom Reilly helped shape our education system. But it's his work earlier in his career that could help shape the way we care for foster kids. Thom Reilly is in charge of higher ed. He's been chancellor of the state system of higher education since August of 2017, but we are talking to him because of his old life. Decades ago, when his life was focused on young people, in the 80s, early 90s, Reilly worked with child welfare. The lessons he learned then are the same lessons Nevada is learning today.
The child welfare system is just a very complex, challenging system. I mean, you work in a system where you try to balance out preserving families, because families are important, but at the same time the need to protect children. And unfortunately, sometimes that can't work out.
15 years ago, Reilly did a study. He tracked kids as they aged out of foster care. As difficult as it is to keep in touch, he did. And what he found, well,
the transition piece from foster care is pretty sobering. Particularly what we did is we actually met with the young people face to face. And so they had to be out of the system, I believe, for 5 years. And then we tracked them down through a variety of different mechanisms. Looking at last contacts they had when they left, any foster parent, any sibling groups. But we also looked at, state systems. Were they involved in any way in any of the systems of state, including prison?
What they found were a shocking percentage of those kids who were once in the foster system now had substance abuse issues or mental health issues or were incarcerated. There was a lack of help or services to address the trauma that came with being placed in the foster system.
That was one of the major recommendations on is that we have to also work with not only helping young people find the concrete job skills and others to be successful, but also is to address those issues of why they came into care, the abuse that brought them in, or sometimes it's simply just the neglect of why did my parents leave me.
He called his results sobering. So too was his response to our next question. If you did that same study today, do you think you would find the same type of result?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, so it's the same things we've been talking about, these issues of trying to transition kids out of care. Important to note here, Thom Reilly, well, not doing foster care or child welfare anymore, he still kind of deals with the welfare of kids, right?
Sure.
He's expanded education to homeless students through CSN and UNLV through programs out there.
Sad to see him having such ongoing problems, the kids, after the foster system.
Yeah, we've known about these problems. Just finding a solution has been impossible.
Yep, and as someone who does Wednesday's Child, I can tell you every one of them deserves every bit of help we can give them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Hey, if you have an idea for our Vegas Lost series, you can email those. The address, vegaslost@news3lv.com. And we also have the Vegas Lost hotline number now, 702-909-2138.
John's going to log on to our News 3 Facebook page in just a few moments to take